So today I managed to pop over to WEX in Newcastle because they had a touch and try event for the new Lumix S1 S1 R2. That's quite a mouthful to remember. And I've had a chance to sort of have a very quick try of the camera. I was quite interested in to look at its low light performance because it's been a larger sensor. And although I didn't get any sample footage, I'll try and describe to you what I got. I've got a little bit of video B-roll of the camera itself. So let's go over the ergonomics first. It's got some lockable dials on the top. The grip is slightly deeper and the camera feels very nice in the hand, quite light. Not sure if it's subtly lighter than the S5 II, maybe that's the grip, but I'll bring the weight up on the screen from the official website so we can compare the two cameras. But it's very nice to hold. The high resolution viewfinder is definitely a benefit. You definitely see the difference, which is definitely of interest to me because the S5 IIX has only the 3.6 million dot viewfinder versus a 5.76 million dot. So I quite liked the look and the feel of the camera, and I especially liked the flip and tilt touchscreen. It's very sturdy, very well built, and as you can see here, you can flip it out to the side, or you can flip it up or down. So it sort of suits the best of both worlds. Whereas a lot of cameras tend to come with a flip out screen, like a selfie screen, or a flip up and down screen. But very rarely do they come out with these screens that can do both. So that's a real benefit to have. Although the screen itself, the resolution is just the same as the S5 IIX. So there's no upgrade there. Now moving on, I did do a little test. I shot the back of like a black monitor, video monitor, and I deliberately underexposed it and set quite a high shutter speed, so very little light got in. This is to test to see what the low light capability is like, see if I could see any discernible noise. And I looked using the very high resolution viewfinder, and very, very good on the noise front. I then just processed it quickly in camera, which means there would have been a little bit of noise reduction done by the camera processor, and brought this to about 3 or 4 stops in the processing, and again, very little noise. And that gives you an idea of what you could do if you were doing the same processing in Lightroom, where you would use noise removal. Now, when I've used high megapixel sensors before, like the Fuji X-T5, I've definitely experienced a lot of noise in the images, especially if you're doing like bird photography around the eye. You would see the noise there because of the high shutter speed and not a lot of light getting into the camera. So all in all, quite impressive for the noise performance. Now, the last area I looked at, one area where the S5 II's had issues is, I wouldn't say issues, it's got limitations. And the limitations, that's my next door's cat howling, the limitations are on the S5 IIX is that when you go up to above 60 frames per second, you either have to drop to an APS-C crop to maintain the phase detect autofocus, but when you go to 4K 120, you're in DFD autofocus. You've lost the phase detect altogether, and it was a bit of a problem with that. And of course, the camera only supports 4K. It doesn't support 4K 120. It'll only do 4K 60, 1080p 120. Now you can do 4K 120 on the new S1 R2, and it maintains the phase detect autofocus. It loses subject detection, but you can still use tracking and spot autofocus, which is pretty impressive. I've tried out the tracking again. I picked a monitor arm which was sort of low contrast, and it stayed locked onto it. So quite impressive there. Now if you drop down to 1080p, and these are all uncropped in the sense of they use the full sensor in up to 4K. If you drop down to 1080p, you will get, as I say, full use of the sensor, and you get the subject detect modes back. So you've got a full phase detect autofocus in 1080p 120, which is great. And if you go to 4K 120, you've still got phase detect autofocus, but you lose the subject detect, that's all. But that's a big improvement from the S5 II. And it's not much more expensive camera. It's only £800 more based on the retail price. So it's food for thought for me, because I would have to likely, it would take me a year or more to save up for the camera. The other option is I go all in on Lumix and sell all my Fuji kit apart from my XM5, which I love. It's a cute little camera that keep my basic walk around lenses and things like that, so I'm still doing some Fuji content. But I would consider getting rid of the XT5, the longer one, the 400 lens, the 50 to 140, all those lenses there, to go for that. But before I do that, there's another touch and try event at WEX on the 20th of March, and I'm going to pop along again and see if I can get some more detailed footage there. So I just thought I'd give you a quick little update on the new Lumix camera. Certainly very impressive, and I've been doing a lot of astrophotography with my S5 IIX, and again, love the low light performance of that full frame sensor. And it's certainly an area on Fuji cameras, because of the crop, that I've been struggling with the noise performance. There's a lot of noise on the smaller sensors, and that is certainly been a problem for me, which is why I'm considering this. But it would have to be a case of, as I say, selling kit, because cameras aren't cheap. Anyway, folks, hope you enjoyed this little first impressions of the new Lumix S1 R2, and I'll see if I can bring a little bit more content about that camera in upcoming videos. Catch you all later. Bye.